this is Jennifer Stay with Coloring Pages Bliss. We're on video 5 of my 8 video series. I'm talking about coloring like a pro. Let's review, shall we? We've talked about trying new tools. Have you guys tried your new tools yet? That was video number 1. We tried stamps out on, let's see, that was video number 4 that we tried stamps out and discovered something new. It was so fun. I can't wait to try more. And we have talked about choosing palettes and colors and limiting our palettes and making choosing colors more fun and less stressful. So check out video number 2 for that. And then we've started into a series where we're reviewing just 5 basic techniques. We talked about strokes and keeping them slow and consistent so that they don't damage your paper and so you get nice clean results. And then we talked about textures and playing around with that in your coloring. It gives some variety, saves some of your ink in your gel pens and other markers, and just if you're getting bored with your coloring, you can add some texture in, especially if you're coloring in a coloring book that has some of the dreaded copy-paste design. You can add some texture into it to give some variety, and that's really fun. Right now, we're going to talk about the number 3 technique, which is bolding. Pretty simple technique, but I think it's one that we forget to use, and it has a big impact, and it's really fun and simple. But it is one, like all the others, that need to be practiced, and we can combine it with texturing and stroking and shading and blending and put it all together, and bam, all of a sudden we are looking like pros, and people will ask you, how long have you been coloring? And it's just amazing the results we're going to get. So let's get into it. Let's talk about bolding. Like I said before in a previous video, I think this is the very first technique that I tried as a kid and thought I was, like the first one that ever invented this technique, where you just do a heavy line on the outside of your shape and then do a lighter finish on the inside. Here we see it done with just a thin line. Here I did it with thick. This is all done with pencil crayon, by the way. Here I did it on the outside and then did the lighter gradient coming away from the shape. And I really like how this turned out. It kind of reminds me of like it's glowing negative space type effect. Here I did a double bolding with 2 different colors. So we have the tan color here and a brown color here. And I really like how that one turned out as well. And here I used the bolding to bring attention to the details of the veining of the leaf. So really the best time to use the bolding is when you want to bring attention to elements of the coloring page. So you can think of it that way. If there's something in your coloring page that you want the viewer to bring their eye to, then try bolding. And also, if you wanted to use a texture on the inside here, you could do that. That would be a fun way to combine bolding with one of the other techniques. So I'm going to just dive right in and demonstrate some bolding. There's not much to review on it as far as, just make sure your strokes are even and the other things we've already talked about. So I thought I would just use this cute Bliss Breather mini coloring book. This is volume 1 of this series. There's 4 volumes of these available on my website, coloringpagesbliss.com. Volume 1 is a free download. It's a PDF download, and it's a mini coloring book that you can keep in your pocket or your purse and take with you. And anytime you need a quick breather from stress, or you're bored sitting, waiting in line, or waiting for your turn at the doctor's, you can pull this out and take a few minutes to color and escape and take a breather. So come and download that from my website and enjoy a little sample of my coloring. of my coloring pages. So I thought I would use this bolding technique here on this mini coloring page that says Be Brave, and because I think it will really help these neat lines stand out. So I am going to use some markers for this. I think I'm going to stick, like we learned in a previous video in this series, I think it was, yeah, video number 2, we talked about choosing our palette. So I'm going to stick with 2 colors in my palette because you want to limit your palette. And so I'm going to stick with green and purple. And in this particular marker set, it only comes with 2 shades per color. So instead of a light, medium, and a dark, I'm just going to end up with a light and a dark. But I think that will be okay on such a small coloring page. If I had a bigger coloring page, I would definitely need that medium tone. But in this circumstance, I think I'll be just fine. And then I've got here a 3x5 card. This coloring page, this little mini book, was printed on really wimpy, just standard copy paper, and so I'm pretty sure that this wet marker is just going to leak straight through, which I'm not too worried about because we've got single-sided printing here. So it'd have to go all the way through here and then all the way through and on to the next one, but I just don't want to risk it, so I don't have to worry about it. Excuse me. I'm going to slide a little 3x5 card in here, and then I don't have to worry about any bleed through. There. So the way I'm going to do this bolding with markers, you know, if you were using pencil crayon, you would press harder to lay down extra pigment along the edges and then just do a lighter finish, a lighter lay down of color on the center. But with marker, what I'm going to do is use a darker pigment for the outside bolding and a lighter pigment for the inside bolding. And these particular markers are a dual tip. I can't remember the manufacturer of these markers. I haven't been too pleased with them. So I usually carry these around with me when I go out to like church or to a doctor's appointment. So if I do lose one, I'm not too sad about it. These are also great to lend to my nieces and nephews. So these ones have a larger bullet point on one end and a teeny tiny bullet point on the other end. But other than that, they're just kind of like your standard marker. They're nothing really special. But the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to lay down the lightest marker color first. I think we're going to try that first. And I'm going to use nice even strokes because I'm going to get that overlap. So I want the lines of the overlap to travel the same direction as the lines of the coloring page. And then I'm going to come back with my darker color and do the bolding along the edges. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, we're gonna go again here with a green this time, and I think I'll do this back stripe here in green. Whoops, let's get the other end. It's one thing I don't like about this set of markers is there's no indication at all which end is the bigger tip versus the smaller tip. Okay, then let's do the bolding again. This time I'm going to try the small bullet tip to do the bolded edge. Oh, and that's just a mess. Let's go to the bigger bullet tip and see if we have better success. Okay, I think I'll do this one green, And I'm going to go ahead and hit fast forward on this coloring and just let you sit back and watch me color, and we'll see how this turns out. I may end up adding a different shade of purple here and maybe grab it from a different set from my Crayola Super Tips here to give us a little extra. Like we learned in video number 2, you start with a limited palette, and then if you feel as you go, if you feel like you need to add an extra color, then you can. So I'm already feeling a little bit like I need to add another color, so we'll see what happens here. So sit back, enjoy a Bliss breather with me, and let's see how this bolding turns out. Okay, so I have decided that I need to add another color to my palette. I was hoping to add yellow, but this marker set only has this one yellow, or I'd have to go into some oranges, and I don't think, let me see. Well, let's go for it. All right, here we go. Okay, there it is. I'm not too happy with the color palette, the way it ended up. I decided to go back and add some purple glitter gel pen on top of that. What I thought was orange, but it ended up being really red, to help tone it down, and it helped a little bit, but it's really happy and fun, and that's what it's all about. And I do feel much more relaxed now that I've taken a breather and done a little bit of coloring, and you know, everything's always better with a little sparkle. So let's take a peek and see if it would have bled through. Ah, it did pretty good. We may have had a little bleed through, but not too shabby, so that's good. This book back together. Okay, like I said, if you would like a copy of this cute little book, Volume 1 in the Bliss Breather mini coloring book series, please come visit my website, coloringpagesbliss.com. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can see all of these great tutorials about coloring like a pro. I'm posting all kinds of tutorials with lots of information on coloring and drawing and art in general, so don't miss out on those, and I hope you have a wonderful, colorful, blissful day.